Hey ladies, this is Rachel coming at you live post-retreat. Post first after retreat bath. Nadine has requested and brilliantly requested that we record kind of like live video sort of post-retreat wraps and kind of like a closing address, which I felt like we didn't necessarily make in our closing circle. I had so much that I wanted to say and didn't really have time to formulate it. So I think there's really just two things that I really want to share with you all. One is that I really deeply regret that we did not talk about re-entry and going from that enormous, expansive space and state into kind of like the reality of our everyday lives. And I mean, I'll share with you, mine was a total shit show. I came back like, freaking depleted, just so incredibly fatigued and exhausted, and walk into my home to a husband who won't even make eye contact with me because he's just so pissed that I'm tired and I don't want to cook or pay attention to him. And to two beautiful boys who love me and want me to, feed them. And I was just like, yep, yeah. And other things, illnesses in school and screaming and, just like the daily mommy wife biz. So with that said, and then another one of our members of our community really came forward and said how hard it was for her to re-enter as well. So just really acknowledging that if it felt challenging or difficult for you to bring yourself from that really expansive, like incredibly female, expansive, free, liberated, discovering state into, whatever you faced coming in, that is par for the course, and that I personally regret not addressing it just to possibly avoid the shell shock of it. So with that said, really the other main thing that I don't know that I was really able to articulate to the way that I wanted to was this idea of when in a conscious practice, which we are, in an intentional conscious container that we created, everything and all of your reactions to everything in it, in the experience, are all information for yourself and your soul. Meaning that, just being in an inquiry with what you like and what you don't like, what worked and what didn't work, what moved you and what didn't move you. And it's not that like, Rachel sucked because she chose that fucked up song that you didn't like or I didn't like. It's more like, well, yeah, I don't like that song. What in me doesn't like it? Why don't I like it? Oh, that's interesting. That's something about myself. I'm just picking examples. Or like if something was really, really, really great about it, like I really, really loved this certain aspect. It's not that Rachel or Nadine is so great. It's that that's something that your soul loves, seeks, wants, has an affinity for. It's a key for you. And so this really simple point just felt so profound to me. When people were saying, wasn't feeling it to dance, went out in the grass, had the bird poop on me, had like a spiritual experience. This or that, the other, like, I love that. And what it really just pointed me to is that when we're in a conscious practice, that any and all reactions or interactions that we have with it are all when we're in a curiosity and inquisitive space, an explorational space, a space of deep love and acceptance and embracing ourselves, that it's all information for us and keys to unlock ourselves. So I just really wanted to share that. I think that felt so important for me to share with you all, to continue with it. If as you move out, more things occur to you about parts and pieces that were your favorite parts or your least favorite parts, things that you love, things that rubbed you wrong. I don't know, that because because this is an inquiry and because this is a spiritual practice, a conscious spiritual practice, to be in such a container or an experience, an experiential, an immersion that you can work with and play with and be in a dynamic, interactive process with that, without judgment, just curiosity. So, I mean, for me, being in Ladies Lab has unleashed my magic wand and my sword. Oh, you can't see my hand up there. Yeah. I don't know if you saw me. I was just like, this is like the thing that I always find myself doing in Ladies Lab is brandishing this magic wand. I never used to do that. It's new. And also a sword. Okay, there's the arm with the sword, like holding like the frickin' sword. You know, and these are like new discoveries to me. And as I'm in this process, I'm like, wow, isn't that fucking awesome? Like, you know, I am a sorceress and a warrior sorceress and a magician and a warrioress, and it feels freaking great. I love it. And that doesn't mean that it translates into being a mommy necessarily, but it really informs my soul, and feeds my soul, and tickles me and resonates with me. That's what it is. It resonates with me. So I just simply share this with you in case any sorts of things that are parallel or interesting happen for you. And maybe they don't, or maybe they're just small little whispers. It doesn't have to be this, you know, huge Rachel-esque, demonstrative, enormous thing. Nadine constantly was talking about the small whispers. I mean, that was another thing that I always talk about in Ladies Lab, like hands over heart, hands over belly. We are now entering into a dynamic and interactive relationship with our heart and with our gut. Listen to the tiny whispers, those little voices, the occurrence, the new whisper, something that never occurred before, an idea that never occurred, a directive that never occurred. It's real, and usually those are really quiet. And follow them. Like if, you know, we really woke ourselves up, not only through dance at all, but through all the ceremony, the new moon, the vision boarding or the medicine card making, the fire ceremony, all the community, just like all the beauty of all the women, like for me is just such a visual, sensuous feast to be in your presence. Like it's so gorgeous to be with all these women, and that starts to wake up all this other stuff. So mainly the cap is be listening to yourself and take yourself seriously. All occurrences, record them, write them, follow them, heed and hear all of the good stuff. So that's really what I wanted to share. If I could have had like the perfect closing with everyone. With that said, also, I just really want to, as a grand finale, say like it is my deepest pleasure to get to be in ceremony and be in community with the phenomenal gorgeousness of all the women that came together and what everyone brought, and just all the twinkle dust and the stardust and the head things and the these and the twinkles and just all the beautiful things that women brought. And I think we as women flourish in community, and we need each other desperately. And I'll just end with sharing something amazing that a woman said in our closing circle in Ladies Lab one day. As she said, it's so nice not to have to be jealous and catty and defensive with women, and to be sisters, you know, and to appreciate each other, truly not be competing. And it's like there is no competing. It's just like everyone, all of us bringing our beauty and what we love is like, to me, that's the soul kitchen. It's just nourishment for our souls. I love seeing how women express themselves in movement, all the different ways women express themselves in their gifting, in their voicing. I mean, how much do we love all the poetry read, and how the poetry was read, and how the songs were sung. And so signing off for now. I'm really very hopefully going to take a nap. And I just want to finish with saying how much I am deeply in love with everything about what it is that we got to experience together. Like, I'm in a deep love with what we are doing. And I'm so grateful for everyone who showed up and made the brilliant beauty happen. Mwah. Okay, bye.